pleased to be joined this morning here on the show to get a chance to feature a program that I've just heard such incredible things about here, a program known as Fathers in the Field. And joining us now on the phone lines here is Doug Fourtner with Fathers in the Field, here the lead for the Montana organization. And Doug, thanks for being with us. Great to have you on the show.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for having me. Such a pleasure to be able to call in and talk with you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So, Fathers in the Field, what's kind of your elevator pitch? How do you describe the program?
Yeah, so Fathers in the Field, like you were just talking about it, we believe it's more blessed to give than to receive. And so Fathers in the Field is a nationwide ministry founded in 2005 with a deep conviction to answer God's call to defend the cause of the fatherless, meaning we want to intentionally help the fatherless and fatherless boys. We are a Christ-centered mentoring ministry that specifically deals with the father abandonment wound in boys. And left unaddressed, we see a cycle of destruction that is so much more likely to occur in kids and in boys, and we want to do something to help and to bring hope and to bring healing. And so it's a intentional mentoring ministry that equips local Christian churches to pair fatherless boys with mature Christian men who are passionate about God and His creation, and to reach these boys through godly men, just stepping into their lives, sharing life with them, bringing them into their life, just wrapping a hand, an arm around their shoulder and saying, I'm committed to you. I'm helping you. And so we're excited to start reaching more boys, more families, more homes through men, intentionally mentoring.
We kind of take it for granted here in Montana and places like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and in our region here. We take it for granted that, it's Montana. Everybody's ridden a horse. Everybody's gotten a chance to get out and hunt and fish and everything like that. But in reality, there's a lot of kids that never get that opportunity. They don't have anybody to kind of show them the ropes, shall we say. So basically as I understand, what you guys do is you provide an opportunity to where you can find the son of a single mom and say, hey, let's take you out fishing, let's take you out hunting.
Right. Yeah, godly men are bringing these boys into their life and just sharing their passions, sharing their hobbies with boys. You're right that a lot of times don't have that opportunity to get out and explore. And as boys, as men, we're just created with that sense of adventure and excitement to be outside and to explore and to really enjoy God's creation. God has created this vast wilderness. We're so blessed up here in Montana with the outdoors that we have around us. And so, yeah, men are just stepping in their lives and using it, the outdoors, so in their passions. And it doesn't matter what the passion of the man is, whether it's hunting or fishing or woodworking, sports, auto mechanics, just using that as part of an intentional mentoring ministry to address the fatherless wound and get these boys into opportunities, teaching them life skills that they otherwise might not have an opportunity to learn and engage in.
And Doug Fourtner with Fathers in the Field, tell us a little bit about the founder of this organization, because you mentioned it's a national organization, but actually got started in Wyoming. And many of us know some great outdoor products, Brunton and Gerber. I guess it was actually the CEO of Brunton Group who actually started the Fathers in the Field out of Wyoming.
Yeah, John Smith Baker, was in Lander, Wyoming, and grew up a fatherless boy, and so he knows that fatherless wound, and God just laid it on his heart to really start reaching other boys with the hope of the gospel that he found in the power of forgiveness to heal from those wounds, and helping others to understand what that means. But this ministry getting men to share the outdoors with kids, but it's not simply just that. It's not just activities. It's what John found through the forgiveness of looking to faith in Christ and the forgiveness he received, and then the power of when he learned about the power of forgiving his dad who abandoned him, and the healing that allowed, that occurred in his life. And so we want to, these men are walking through intentionally with these boys. We have a structure that men engage in to.
Well, I know there's hold that thought for just a second if you can, Doug. We got to take a quick break here on the show, but I know a lot of folks may be interested. Okay, how can they get kids a part of this? How can they be a part of it? So we'll go there right after this.
Broadcasting live across the great state of Montana. This is Montana Talks with Aaron Flint.
Well, real quickly, we're gonna talk about impeachment and some of the other big issues on Capitol Hill here in just a few minutes. Congressman Greg Gianforte is going to join us on the show live here around 8:40. Also, if you go to our website, montanatalks.com, we've got more audio. Consider it kind of like a Montana Talks Extra. More audio clips there posted now. Our conversation with Dr. Scott Sears. He joins us every other Tuesday talking healthcare, answering your medical questions. If you missed it this week, the full audio is now posted. So including any caller questions, some of the topics that he came prepared to discuss. There's a lot of talk about hormone therapies and things that are out there right now. So that topic, you can now find the full audio at MontanaTalks.com. Plus, yesterday in the 9 o'clock hour, we had the chairman of the Little Shell Tribe, Gerald Gray, join us live on the show, talking about really this huge and historic victory for the Little Shell Tribe here in Montana. Of course, mostly based in Montana, but they're across the U.S. and Canada. Finally, after a decades-long fight, the Little Shell Tribe is on the path to gaining federal recognition after a measure passed both the House and in the United States Senate earlier this week and headed towards President Trump. So check out that full audio with Little Shell Tribal Chairman Gerald Gray, also posted at MontanaTalks.com. Well, this morning, here in the first half hour of the show, very pleased to be joined by Doug Fourtner with Fathers in the Field here in Montana, national organization that actually got started by a guy down in Wyoming. And I've just heard such incredible things about it that, you think about these kids, growing up in, single-parent homes, and maybe they don't have a dad or an uncle that can take them out hunting or take them out fishing and mentor them in so many other ways. So this organization is stepping up, Fathers in the Field, and providing those opportunities for these young men, which, any of you who've been, you think about what a life-changing experience, just how memorable it is when you get out on your first hunt, or heck, even your second, third, fourth hunts, just how memorable that is and how impactful that is when you get out there and hear the crunch of the snow, or you smell the you smell the elk and you can hear them as they're moving maybe 200 yards in front of you. I mean, it's just so memorable. Doug, thanks again for joining us this morning on the show. I know so if there's single moms out there who are saying, hey, I'd love to get my kid a part of this program, what's kind of your process? How big of a program really is this here in Montana? How long have you been up and running here in Montana now?
Yeah, we moved up in Montana in April to help start really specifically getting it going here. Just do want to thank the Gianforte Family Foundation for helping Fathers in the Field get established and started here in Montana, and so I can give my efforts full time to churches. And the ministry is a ministry of the local church. We work through churches to equip them so that they can raise up these godly men that are going to mentor, step into the lives of these fatherless boys. And so the ministry, if a mom wants to get her boy involved, we need the church involved. And so, that's our appeal. That's how we're needing help. If you are a single mom and just we need you to talk with a local church if you're part of a church already. Or if you're a pastor, we need to be able to connect with you and get the program started, get the ministry started in in your church, and so that because men are vetted and approved within the local church to step into these boys' lives.
Interesting. So that kind of almost answers the next question then too, which is, if there's guys out there listening who want to be mentors, they want to be a part of Fathers in the Field, they want to help because they love to hunt, they love to fish, and they want to provide these opportunities for other kids. How can they do that? So it sounds like really if you're listening and you want to, the key is to get your local church involved, hook your local church, your local pastor up, you name it, with Fathers in the Field, and then that's what gets that process going. And then you would also volunteer through your local church basically as well.
Correct. Yeah, these are godly men, part of churches that are engaging, and so if you're a man, wanting, I could do that. I can use my Christian life to share about the love of the Heavenly Father and an understanding of forgiveness, and I can share my passions, use my hunting and fishing as ministry. Right, it still works. We have to have that church involved, your church involved first. So here in Montana, those churches would work, obviously with me. I would work with that church, getting it established there, providing training to the men, and so that they're starting off on a good foot, to step into these boys' lives and bring
and you just launched
hope and joy.
And you just launched in April here in Montana. How how many churches do you have involved right now? I know it's just getting started, but how many are you at now, and where do you hope to grow in the next months ahead, years ahead?
Yeah, it's exciting. Even before we moved up, there were some churches involved in Bozeman and in Missoula, and now we're just seeing churches in Great Falls and over in Hamilton and Libby, all expressing interest, and so it's really exciting to see some more churches getting involved, and just as it keeps spreading, and so we're just every local Christian church out there we can have a Fathers in the Field ministry, and so we're excited to see what's happened and what's going to happen.
What drew you to the program? What are some of the success stories that you have heard? Some of the things that stand out. Just how would you describe just how impactful a program like this can be in giving these kids this type of an opportunity? Right here in our own backyard.
Yeah, just life changing. What drew it to me, the ministry. My draw was just praying about God's direction for our lives, and to be helping out in ministry, and seeing how we help pastors, we help men, we help the fatherless boys, and the ministry is really then churches are ministering to single moms and caring for their needs, and reaching out to the girls that are in that home and through the church, and it's just such a ministry that has such a wide range of reach, and it becomes the whole church ministry. Everybody just can get involved, and it's just so exciting to be part of a ministry like that. That is.
How much has
making a difference?
How much have the needs for these types of programs increased, even just in recent years as well? Because we've talked a lot about the meth crisis here in Montana, for example, and we know that we've seen double-digit increases in the needs of our foster system, for example, of kids who don't even have any parents, and yet there's a decline in the number of foster families that are available, and so this meth crisis is just tearing families apart, ripping these kids apart. And so there's just an increased need across the board for a lot of these types of services. So talk about the need that you've seen, the increased need, especially here in Montana, for programs just like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's you're right. There's just such a need. The stats are roughly 50% of kids nowadays growing up without a father in the home, and just the destructive cycles, the stats that come along with fatherlessness. Kids so much more likely into drugs and dropping out of school, and so much more likely to be in prison. And so we just see that it's the number one societal issue facing America right now. And in Montana, we're part of America. It's the number one societal issue is this lost generation of boys because of fatherlessness. And so we're just so excited to be able to be doing something about it.
What are some of the success stories they've seen on the national front? Because since they first started in 2005, some of those young boys are now grown men, and I just wonder, some of the success stories that may have come out of this.
Yeah, it's so encouraging, just to hear of God's work. A young man that I know just here recently, he just graduated from a police academy, and his mentor walked through him with the suicide attempts and drug addiction and just life, complete life turnaround by that mentor, being committed to his life, being there for him in his deepest, darkest times. And now, he's looking at a career now. He's thinking about family. Hearing the kids that are now getting married, and they're stopping that cycle of destruction. A kid that I know, even a kid in Missoula, just the mentor father, just talking about a year and a half in as he developed trust, and that kid just his whole demeanor changed. He was holding his head up again. Another kid in Missoula just that dealt with just such fear of men because of how he was treated when he was young, and now he's looking men in the eye, and he's holding his head up and just learning what it's like to be a man now.
That's pretty remarkable. Man. That's pretty remarkable too when you think about that young man who struggled with suicide thoughts and all sorts of other depression, and now goes from that situation to now not just being successful and having a successful career, but continuing to serve others as a member of the law enforcement community. About 30 seconds to go here. Doug Fourtner with Fathers in the Field, fathersinthefield.com. Doug, how can folks get a hold of you if they want to help take part in this program in Montana?
Right. So obviously you can also always reach me through the National Ministry of fathersinthefield.com, and you can also call my phone at 719-431-2408.
All right, Doug Fourtner. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Thanks for what you do. Thanks for joining us on Montana Talks.
Merry Christmas, Aaron. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.